folks, we've got another possum reaction going on here. George Jones's A Little Getting Used To, and it was requested by George Woodruff. George might be George Jones's #1 worldwide fan. I mean, that's tough to say quite naturally, but I can go there and just have fun with it. So GW, that's what I call George Woodruff, GW, to differentiate him from George Jones, because when I'm talking and referring to the content of the song, I don't want you to get confused with thinking that I might be speaking about George Woodruff. In any case, George said that nobody could sing a sad song, basically, like George Jones, or that he's the king of sad songs. And a case could certainly be made for that. So let's get into this. George made a gift to the channel. GW made a gift to the channel for me. GW made a gift to the channel for me to do this one. So George, thank you for this gift, my friend, and this request. We're going through a lot of George's the catalog of George Jones, but there are so many George Jones songs, so we're not going to get through the whole catalog. I mean, it would take years to do that, and we're doing them at a pretty good clip. So here we go, A Little Getting Used To. Start out with a harmonica, you know what's going on.
No, it wasn't easy, but now I've worked it out. I got over lonely nights and empty rooms somehow. Now there's just one thing, and that's living without you. That's gonna take me a little getting used to.
I know this feeling, absolutely, and he's right.
I was doing fine till I saw you last night.
And that'd be rough, man.
It wouldn't be so bad if he wasn't by your side. And then he kissed you.
Oh, shit.
The way I used to do.
Oh. Mixed feelings.
That's gonna take me a little getting used to.
Man, could George sing a ballad.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Silence makes an awful sound.
Oh, good line.
Sleeping don't come easy. I can't take this lying down, 'cause I've done all any man can do.
Maybe.
Living without you is gonna take a little getting used to.
Yeah, perspective. Perspective is so hard to find. Ah, man, when you're just bereft like this, but we're close to the end, so let's keep going.
That's gonna take me a little getting used to.
Yeah, that song, GW, that song covered that sliver of life, that one part, that knife edge part of the emotion and the mental challenge of getting used to being alone when you weren't alone. It's like there's I saw this some years ago, this saying or this it was like a quote. I quoted it on my quotes channel that I'd started some years ago. I haven't done anything with it in a few years because I gotten busy with other things, but that when you have children, you can't believe the adjustment you have to make to the amount of noise that's constantly in the house. Then when they grow up and leave to live their lives, you can't believe the adjustment you have to make to the quiet that's in the house. And any change like that, dramatic change, it signifies the change of life. And the quiet that he has to get used to. She's not there. He can't reach over and touch her. He can't talk with her. Share a cup of coffee in the morning, whatever you do, these common things. You get home from work, you hug, kiss, and then how was your day? Or whatever the routine is. Oh, there she is out there planting flowers. She loves to tend to her garden. We all have our things that we do. And when that person isn't there any longer and it's just you, then you have to live and be content with yourself. So first you've got to get over whatever it is that you did wrong in the relationship. You got to get over to whatever extent you can, the heartache, the pain, the confusion, what happened, who am I? Where do I want to live? Do I want to sell the house or stop living in this apartment or wherever you may live? Because it'll remind you of what you don't have any longer. It'll remind you what you had and now don't. So a lot of people will sell the house and move on. But if you move to another state or elsewhere, decide for a change in life, do you switch jobs? Do you get a new job? Do you stick with your current job? Do you want to get in another relationship? If so, when? How do I approach this? Do I trust my judgment any longer? All these things. But he's not at that stage yet. He's at that stage of, I'm by myself. Now, I don't have a problem being by myself. I'm a very social being, very social creature. But, I also have a peace of mind within, a peace within myself that I can be by myself. And, I have so many friends too, very close friends, not just mere acquaintances, but we go deep with one another that fills the void that I might otherwise have had, or have with like a spouse. But like now I have a girlfriend, of course, you guys who follow the channel know that. So, but I do know, I lived on my own for 15 years. But I know what it's like trying to get used to. You build this life together. You build the house together. So many of the parts of it had her stamp on it, had my stamp on it. Now it didn't matter, in my case, after she left. And so it's like, gosh, now I've got to figure out who am I. And there are three primary things. For those of you who might be going through this now or may have gone through it but didn't dissect it in this way, when you get divorced or when a serious relationship ends and that you lived with the person, right, for several years, let's say, minimum, and then that breaks up, but it's certainly true if you've been married for 20 years or more, that then you've got to figure out the three primary things. Where do you want to live? Where do you want to work? And who do you want to go through life with now, if anybody? And you don't know in which order those things are going to fall. Because if you decide, I'm going to pick a place to live first. Let's say you decide to move to another state and start over. Maybe you have friends there. Maybe you have family there. But you're going to move there. Okay. Decision made, part one. But then you got to say, all right, but do I want to live here if I meet somebody? Or is there going to be work there? So before you move, you want to line work up, generally speaking. Unless you have a law practice where you are, you're not going to leave that. You're going to stay in your line of work. So or you're a doctor or whatever you are, and you've got a good career that's not, you can't you can't take it with you to another state, for example. But barring that, you got to make sure you have work lined up. And then when you get there, you're like, well, if I meet a girl here, do I want a girl from this state? Because then I'll stay here. So then you're like, well, maybe I don't want to do it in that order. I do want to be with somebody, but who? And then you're like, well, if I get in a relationship here, wherever here may be, then I got to make sure there's work here And do I want to live here or do I really want to start somewhere else? And it just depends on where you're at in that stage of your life, and it's very confusing. And those thoughts all cross your mind. So you've got to be there going through it by yourself. And I recommend getting comfortable. Like when I do my life coaching or situation coaching, I call it, we don't delve into the past of people's lives. This is very context specific in its current context. In assessing the decisions you're going to make, here's the likely outcome. If you decide on this course of action, here's what you need to be prepared for. If you decide on this course of action, here's what you need to be prepared for and how to adopt a new philosophy and approach to it. I recommend living by yourself for at least a year so you can take personal inventory, see what it is that you need to change about yourself going into another relationship so you don't repeat the same things. Maybe you were too passive, maybe you were too aggressive, maybe you weren't caring enough, loving enough, generous enough, maybe you overdid it, maybe you were controlling. Whatever it may be, maybe you were loose with your tongue, maybe you drank too much, it doesn't matter. Whatever it may be, you need to attend to those things, and you do that by yourself. But I absolutely recommend getting used to being by yourself. Get comfortable with that, because that's at least the fallback position where you can have a certain peace of mind and heart being by yourself. And there's a big difference between being alone and being lonely. And loneliness will happen once in a while if you've been in a relationship. But this song, GW, man, you got me going. Goodness gracious. But this is in my wheelhouse. This is right there. Not only because I experience it, but because I talk with people as a life or situation coach about these very dynamics. So I'm very familiar with them and how to conceptualize them and approach them. But man, can George sing a ballad. Come in with the harmonica, I mean, good God, you're in for it. I'm going to rate this song because the content of the song just hit the nail on the head. Just lying in bed. I mean, I could picture it. Been there, done that. The number that popped into my head was a 9.4. Well produced, well done, and you could feel the molasses of time going by to where he just didn't know what to do with himself. And if you've been there, and you'll eventually get out of it, and having somebody to help you process it isn't the worst thing. You definitely need friends, and if family members who are sensitive to you helps too. So there you go. GW, thank you again, my friend. Have a great day, folks. I'll see you on another video and keep rocking the country.